things that can lead to a bad first impression. Hello, everybody. Tom here. Hope you're well. I want to discuss today what will leave a bad first impression. Now, for anybody that's heard the phrase first impressions last, I can absolutely agree. And I don't believe that we should be taking first impressions so lightly. A first impression, if it's a bad one, is a very difficult thing to come back from. And this is true of any situation, whether that be socially or whether it be a job interview or your first day at a new job. Don't get caught out. Okay? Leaving a bad first impression, as I said, is very hard to recover from. Some people will judge you personally on the first impression, and that will pretty much make up their mind whether they like you or not, whether they want to work with you, whether they have a bad feeling about you. And you shouldn't take that lightly either. My mother is a really good judge of character. She knows within a few seconds of meeting somebody whether she likes them or not. And I know others who have the same opinion. They can literally tell straight away if that person and them are going to get on or whether or not they're going to have that good bond. So please take this little bit of advice I'm giving you today and try and apply it, because having a bad first impression in any situation is never good. Okay, so the first thing to be wary of is being underdressed. Being underdressed will not leave a good impression. If you're going for a job interview, you're best to dress really smart. Okay, starting your new job, make sure you dress to impress. Make sure you're turning up looking smart or within line with the company's dress code. Okay, don't turn up looking like you've just come out of a nightclub or you've just rolled out the pub. Honestly, you're not doing yourself any favors. Okay, and the same if you was to be going on a date. If you're going on a date and you want to impress your date, turning up looking scruffy is not going to impress them, or overly casual. All right, little smart casual's okay, but like completely and utterly scruffy and no effort made doesn't reflect well on you, and it won't make them feel very good. And top tip here, the first thing somebody notices, and most of you know this, but for those that don't, is your shoes. If your shoes are looking like something the tramps pulled out of a dumpster, straight away, that's the first bad sign of a bad first impression. Okay, your shoes should be neatly polished or at least scuff free, looking good. Okay, because everybody that meets you for the first time will look you up and down. Okay, they will literally scan up and down the body with the eyes. Okay, so they'll start looking at your feet. If your feet and your shoes don't look great, the rest of you has got to look pretty damn good from then on in. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Being underdressed for social occasion, a new job, an interview is a big red flag straight away. Second thing that you should be wary of, it's an etiquette thing, is lack of eye contact. When you meet someone for the first time, is the gentleman's thing to do, shall we say, is to look somebody in the eye, particularly when you're shaking someone's hand for the first time. It shows a level of respect, and it shows that you're open and that you're easy to communicate with. Okay, being closed off, not looking in someone in the eye, and having a weak handshake is not great. Okay, now when I say a weak handshake, I don't expect you to break somebody's wrist with your handshake, but a solid, firm handshake. Maybe it's my age. I respect somebody with a firm handshake. I don't particularly like it when someone's got a weak handshake. A weak handshake's it's not great, to be fair. I used to play football, and we used to play six-a-side, and I used to come up against this lad who was a good player, but his handshake was so weak. I just couldn't. In the end, it got so bad, I just couldn't shake his hand. I just pat him on the back rather than shake his hand, because it was pathetic between you and me. That's just me. Maybe I'm a bit, too opinionated about that. But definitely in a work situation, the first thing you do when you're meeting someone for the first time in a professional sense is you shake the hand firmly and you look them in the eye. And this can also be in a dating situation. Obviously, if you're shaking a woman's hand, don't squeeze too hard, okay? There's no need. But at least show them that you're you know, being respectful. It's a sign of peace, shaking someone's hand and looking somebody in the eye, as I said, is a sign of openness. And that's a very good thing to get off with the first time you meet somebody, okay? Third and final thing, and it's really basic, but a lot of people can't master this, is being on time. If you're going to be somewhere and you've been told to be somewhere, make sure you're on time, okay? Being late shows a lack of discipline, a lack of interest, and again, it is one of them things that will straight away go against you. It's a massive black mark, particularly if it's an interview. If you're late for an interview, you've got to be really flawless in the rest of the interview to get the job. I'm telling you now. All right. It's, I wouldn't say unforgivable, but it's close to. And being late really does not help. Okay. So make sure that you do make every effort to be on time. All right. Most companies, most people are reasonable. They expect that, you know, you may have set off in good time, you may have got lost, you may have gotten caught up in traffic. I would suggest if you're going for a job interview, you plan your route before you go and you rule out any chance of being late if you can help it. Set off a little earlier, do whatever you've got to do. For my most recent job that I was in, that I'm in now, that I started a couple of months ago, I did a dummy run a couple of days before and I was more than on time for my interview. And those little things will give you the advantage and the edge. And especially if you're meeting somebody for the first time, as I said, in a social situation, whether that be a date or making friends with somebody, if you're late, again, straight away, it doesn't show that you're very reliable. And that is not something that a lot of us can come back from. Guys, this is my first of 3 videos this week. I want to say thank you all ever so much for listening. I really appreciate your time and energy spent here on my channel. Thank you kindly. First of 3, as I said, please put down in the comment section below. This is just 3 examples of a bad first impression. Can you think of any more? Can you think of anywhere maybe you've been guilty of it? At the end of the day, no judgment. We've all done stuff that we should have got right first time. I'll admit I've been late before when I shouldn't have been. In fact, I remember the one time I was late for an interview and I pretty much called the person and said, I'm not coming because I'm late and I know that I can't, that you're not going to accept me now because of that. You know, I got lost, basically. It happens. But yeah, we've all done stuff that have not left a good first impression. And the fact is here, we need to try and learn from these things and make sure that the next time we're put in this position, we don't make the same mistake, okay? Please, if you would, I'd be very grateful if you consider giving me, hitting that subscribe button down below. And if you would consider as well, give me a thumbs up and a like, I'd be really grateful for that. Thank you kindly. And let's hear that bell sign go ding dong so you know my next content's out. I will be back in a couple of days with another video. As always, please take care of yourselves and bye for now.